Oh, we're live. We're live. Oh, good morning, beautiful people. Couple minutes before we go live, do I have everything dialed in for the show? Whew. Priorities. High level. What else is going on? Oh, somebody jumped on. That's got to be Justin. First thing on in the morning, it's always got to be my bro. Him or David, man. I just appreciate you guys so much. Let's see. Lighting's pretty good. It's not bad. It's not bad. Like my little military pin. Right here, my little military pin. It's like, what side is it? Man, I didn't even do this. What's wrong with me? Well, now I got to do 1 minute. I guess I could do 2 minutes. It's going to be closer to probably big announcement. Oh, come on, bro. I can't even wait to hear it, dude. Oh, my God. I can't even wait, dude. Now I'm all like freaking excited, man. I'm like, okay, I just got to talk to Dave when I'm done here. Just got to talk to him. Clear that, reset, 1 minute, go. Okay. So that is the 1 minute alarm before we jump into the show. And I can't even wait to hear it, bro. All right. Today being Treat Yourself Thursday. So, Dave, you got to do something good for yourself, man. I know you have been. Every day you're taking care of yourself, which I absolutely love. I was looking at all the stuff I got to get together for the bank for all of our stuff too, man. It's a lot, but it's all good though. It's going to be worth it. So I can't wait to get the news. News. All right, phone is set up. It is. That's it. That is it. Mm-mm-mm. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are live. We're live. We're live. Oh, righty. Good morning, business builders, and welcome to Business for Breakfast, where business is the most important meal of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, otherwise known as VBG. Our goal in this show is to make you 1% smarter today by unpacking business news over the last 24 hours, sprinkle with tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. We all know you ain't here for me, though. You're here for the morning mark. But why is that? Because it's easy. No prompts required, no drinks, no gear, just you and a functioning brain. We'll work with what we've got, right? Wherever you are, desk, truck, kitchen, job site, standing or sitting, it don't matter. You pick one thing you'll finish today. Not a list, not 10, not 3, just one. Now mark it mentally and write it down. That is the line in the sand. That's the thing the day doesn't get to erase. It's the pause that sharpens the edge. The moment that turns noise into signal. It's the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, is your morning mark. Your day is officially started. All right, my beautiful peeps, you drive, I dive. Buckle up, buttercup, and let's roll. Now, you guys know that today is Treat Yourself Thursday. Good morning, Justin. Good to see you, sir. And you guys know it's the only day of the week that you have permission to actually spoil yourself. And so you guys know we're going to go through this day in history, a little bit of juice and news, and then we roll into some Treat Yourself Thursday news. And then I've got a phenomenal Scott Adams reframe for you guys at the end of the show, man. So I'm telling you, the first half of the show is always great. The second half of the show is always better. And so I'm going to go ahead and get dialed in, but you guys are going to absolutely love it. And you guys know Treat Yourself Thursday is purple, man. Every day is a different color thing, but it's because each color represents something. And to be honest with you, you guys know I spend every waking second championing you, Mom and Pop Venti Shop. And so Thursday being the day of Treat Yourself Thursday, it's a day of royalty, man. Like this, purple. You matter. You deserve it. You are royalty. I know. I know you don't feel like it, but I'm just telling you, you guys are. All right. So, what is going on in this day in history? Well, first of all, today being obviously May 7th, a tiny little company that you've never even heard of before uh, was founded. Hold on a second. You don't need to be there. I need to pull up my YouTube because I've got my favorite little treat yourself video that I always have pulled up here. That's it. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Is when we do treat yourself. Okay. Right today, 1946, this day in history. Not kidding. Not kidding. Sony was founded with just 8 employees. Sony, right? They were originally called Tokyo Telecommunications Engineering, TTE. Uh, Later rebranded to Sony. Like this tiny little operating model, like a little tiny, like little Radio Shack, little, transistor radios, and somehow literally pivoted to Sony, bro. Like literally probably the greatest brand pivot in business history, and if not in the top three. And maybe you can in the comments give me an example of a better rebrand than Sony from how it started. Insane. Like even like Wells Fargo, which I'm pretty sure Wells Fargo started off as like a money courier, like they would transport money. I think they were like back in the those days, but dude, they were still dealing with money. And so I don't even think Wells Fargo has that big of a brand pivot than Sony. What else happened though in this day in history? Crazy man. Listen, 1992, the Endeavour launches its maiden voyage. The space shuttle's first mission includes a record-setting three-person spacewalk to capture and reboost the Intelsat 6 satellite. Big, big, big major world events. So this day in history, you guys remember the RMS Lusitania? Lusitania? I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to say it. It was torpedoed today. Today. It was a British, well, actually, it was a German U-boat sank the British liner off the Irish coast, killing just under 1,200, um, including 128 Americans. A turning point in U.S. public sentiment toward joining World War One. Yeah, man, like that's huge. So that was 1915. So listen to this: 1915, German U-boat sinks the British liner. Okay, 1945. So listen to me. 30 years later, to the day, Nazi Germany signs unconditional surrender at Reims, France, ending the European theater of World War II, celebrating Veterans Day, celebrated as VE Day on May 8th. So 30 years, World War I, World War II, 1915, 1945. Is that not insane? 30 years difference. Two world wars killed, I don't know, like millions, 50 million between both of them, 50, 60 million individuals, like literally in a matter of 30 years. Insane. 1954, the Battle of Dien Bien Phu ends. French forces surrendered to the Viet Minh after 55-day siege, effectively ending French colonial rule in Indochina. Yeah, man. Like big, big, big stuff happening this day in history. Famous birthdays, to be honest with you, like I don't even know any of these people. Okay. Nope. None of them. But how about we shift into the fun fact of the day? Okay. Because we have three of them. No, we have more than that. Okay. So I've got a handful of these national days. And you guys know we have gold, silver, and bronze medal winners. Okay. So your job is to tell me which of these is gold, silver, and bronze. I'll give you mine, but you guys got to tell me in the comments. Okay. Today is National Tourism Day. Lame. National Cosmopolitan Day. Lame. World Password Day. Now it's getting interesting. National Day of Prayer. Okay. Okay. Like, look, I think everybody's got some reason to be praying, but you know what? Today's the National Day of Prayer. The Great American Grump Out. I don't even know what that is. I'm going to find out right now what the Great American Grump Out is because that could easily be the gold medal here. What is Great American Grump Out Day? I'm going to my trusty Gemini right now. The Great American Grump Out is an annual event designed to promote stress reduction and positivity by challenging people to go 24 hours without being grumpy, crabby, or rude. Oh my God. Oh my God. This literally has to be the gold. It has to be the gold. But okay, look, I don't want to be that cocky just yet, but that's pretty good. Oh, okay, okay. This is going to be another biggie. National Roast Leg of Lamb Day. Dear Lord, bro. These are big, bro. These are big ones, okay? Don't forget, it's also day 4 of the National Small Business Week, okay? So, gold, silver medal, gold, silver, bronze. I'm gonna say, honestly, to me, National Day of Prayer, just because of what it represents, I'm gonna put that as gold, because I just believe that that daily connection with the divine, focusing on gratitude, kindness, your blessings, to me, gold medal. But right behind it, Great American Grump Out. 24 hours without being grumpy, bro. This is you have to understand, bro. All of us do this. All of us. Look at this. Look at this. This is. You guys remember these 1980 like 3D glasses, right? Understand that everybody that wakes up in the morning is either looking at life through a red lens or a blue lens, red or blue. Okay. And remember, you get to pick which lens you look through. And remember, life is happening, but depending on which filter you put in front of it determines your outcome in life. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. This is why this day is such a National Grump Out Day is such a big deal. Because you understand, if you look at life events through the red lens, you're a victim. Why does everything happen to me? You complain. You always find the fault in everything. You're negative about everything. You're grumpy about everything. You understand the universe cannot open its arms and bless you because you're not in a place to receive it. You get it. And when the blessings come, they come in front of you. But because your red lens is there, you can't see it as a blessing. You will find the negativity or the negative in the blessing. It's the red lens. National like Grump Out Day, it's the day that everybody has to wear a blue lens today. When you wake up, it's the lens of gratitude, thanksgiving, kindness, love. That is the blue lens. And remember, life is going to happen in front of you. And remember, everything that you see in life, if you put a red lens filter on it, you're going to see all the red lens stuff. But if you put a blue lens filter on that, it will change your life. Mark my words. Mark my words. So when I hear about like National No like Grump Out Day, dude, this is huge. Okay. So to me, that's got to be the silver. And then I got to say National Roast Leg of Lamb Day. Gots to be the bronze. Okay. But also day 4 of National Small Business Week, which is amazing for us. And by the way, guys, just a kind of little, heads up for you guys. In case you guys want to check out what we do and how we do it, or you want to talk to us, go to accountingplusaccountability.com. So that's accountingplusaccountability.com. And you better go check us out, man. Go see, you'll see a little button on the top there of the header that says talk with Aaron. That's me. You can schedule a call, talk to me about anything you guys want to talk about. I'm going to be there, no problem. And you can scroll down, ask a question, but that really will kind of identify what it is that we do, how we do it. And I spend half my time just consulting and strategizing with our owners because we're one of the few accounting firms that's just not focused on documenting your transactions from last month. We are just as focused as helping you profit next month. But it's because I don't think we're the only accounting firm owned by small business owners, but we're one of the few. And to be honest with you guys, be a little transparent, I don't know, it's probably 12, 15 years ago. I got absolutely railroaded by a small business accountant, and it took me years and years and years to climb out of the hole. And so I'd made a decision that moment. I was like, no, we're going to do this. I'm going to build the accounting firm for me, us mom and pop Venti shops. I'm going to build it for me. And what I've always known is, look, I need a partner. I need somebody who can basically partner with me. And when I succeed, they succeed. And so that's what we've built. And we've been doing this for almost 60 years. And I can't wait for the next 60 years, to be honest with you. But let's talk a little bit about some juicy news today, if we can. And you guys know it's not just juicy news, it's juicy news. It's juicy news. All right, all right. Now, remember, Today is day 4 of National Small Business Week, right? And the news today, the business news today, it's actually pretty damn good. Okay, here's the biggie. Tariff refunds start hitting back in bank accounts as early as May 11th. Remember, the tariffs the Supreme Court shot down that said that they were illegal was the IEEPA tariffs. And those tariffs uh, illegally basically collected about 166 billion in revenue from owners. Now, I tell you what's crazy about this is because yeah, the money gets dumped back into the big kitty, but the main thing that tariffs do is change behavior. And you guys know we talk about this all the time, the 3 Ps of primal existence: pain, pleasure, and pattern recognition, right? Pain, pleasure, pattern recognition. Out of the 3, you have to understand, um, we build patterns around things that are painful, meaning we build a pattern that we don't continue doing it. If it's pleasurable, we build a pattern around continuing doing it. But everything we do is based on we build patterns around. And so you have to understand that when you have tariffs that come in, yes, it cuts the wholesaler that's importing because it's the American company that has to eat the tariff. Okay. But what happens, because again, we're going to build patterns around things that are painful. So we're going to change our buying habits so we don't have to eat that tariff. And as soon as we change, it's really difficult for us to go back because now we're building new patterns around the new change, which is pleasurable. And the more pleasurable patterns you build around an anchor point, the harder it is to break it. This is just pure psychology. This is just subconscious stuff. Everything that I'm saying, you guys already know, right? And so, but really, the tariff thing is a big, big deal, man. Mr. Orange Man headlined this week White House Small Business Summit, highlighting permanent QBI deductions, which is amazing, full expensing, and the boy suspension, which we talked a lot about that yesterday. And we got to add in a little pause mode, AI adoption climbing past 82%, which is huge, and a $10,000 skip grant deadline, which is 8 days out. Okay. So let's jump back in because this is probably the one of the biggest stories. And to be honest with you, I got a lot of my friends that deal with import export, and this is a big thing that they have to deal with. It has absolutely unequivocally cut their profit margins huge the last few years. And even before the big tariffs that came, we've been doing tariffs for years. Okay. And so it's been costing them a lot. But now, because the Supreme Court overturning the IEEPA tariffs, the U.S. Court of International Trade Judge Richard Eaton said the first tariff refunds will arrive in business bank accounts as soon as May 11th. Customs and Border Protection has accepted 21% of refund requests, 3% are already in the refund stage of processing. What? Okay, so listen. If you imported anything in 2024 and 25 and have not filed via the CAPE portal, do it today. Owners are reporting 30 to 200,000 in refunds. Oh my gosh, David, I got to get this to Justin because this dude imports so much steel from overseas and he is talking constantly about the tariffs. So I want to make a little note here for our PAG today. Justin. Tariff refunds. Cape portal. Tariff refunds. And if Justin was listening to this show, he would know this already. But he doesn't, and that's okay. He's not up yet. That's okay. He's about to get up. People like me, David, we get up like 4 in the morning, but most everybody else gets up, around 6 or 7 or whatever. But what else is going on in the news today? White House Small Business Summit. Okay. So the summit, which is basically kind of like highlighting everything, talking about obviously this SBA Summit Week, which is amazing, the permanent QBI deductions and the boy suspensions. Those are the biggies that kind of were happening. But the SBA Virtual Summit that's been going on all week is wrapping up. Okay, now I think they're going to allow replays of the summit for like 30 days. Okay. So I've literally been stuck in meetings the entire time. And so I have literally had zero opportunity to check it out. But I know David was able to get in, and he jumped in and did the AI portion of it, which I can't even wait to hear about. And he's already said he's some great news, and I can't wait to hear about it. But yes, man, like yes, positive follows positive, dude, 100%, man. It's like our PAG group is going to be off the chains. And by the way, that's actually a great little segue because that's at Accounting Plus Accountability, it's what we do. It's that's why we always say we've got a 2x profit guarantee for the first year we work with you, because it's the partnership that we have, and so we get to help you unlock all that profit's been in there. And but one of the things that we do that nobody else does is we put our owners in peer advisory groups. And it's like your own, I don't know, board of directors or your own like executive council. And really we kind of work in 12-week sessions where we've always got goals and things we're working on. So it's not like a coming together and we just hang out and like every week somebody's in a hot seat. Somebody's like, having issues taken care of, or we're solving problems, we're minimizing mistakes. And that's really the purpose of a peer advisory group, is really to give you clarity on what you want to do as the owner. But it's a group of peers, like people that maybe not exactly in your industry, but they're people like you that suffer and struggle with exactly what you're going through. And because they're different perspectives, you get to hear how this one does advertising. And you're like, wait a minute, I think that'll apply for me over here. Why can't I do that? That's the purpose of the peer advisor group. It's amazing. It gives you clarity, holds you accountable, and in my opinion, probably the most important thing, helps us minimize mistakes, especially ones that cost us money. Okay. So, but yes, no, I'm telling you, I can't even imagine getting done what I need to get done without my peer advisor group and the owners that I get to hang out with every week. And I do. I get to hang out with these amazing individuals, and it really is awesome. But what else is going on in the news today? Really? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. American Workers Rebate Act. Okay. A $600 per person stimulus proposal on the table. So Senator Josh Hawley, American Worker Rebate Act, a tariff-funded rebate would deliver at least $600 per adult and dependent, up to family of four, 2,400, phases down for couples earning over 150,000, currently facing skepticism even within the Republican circles. So this is one of those things where if it happens, cool, but obviously don't bake this thing into your budget, right? But, it's really cool now kind of knowing that it looks like that this could be, if it passes, then kind of expect that around Q4. Okay. And then but we can, I'll keep you guys in the loop. You guys know, as this stuff comes down, we talk about it daily. Okay. So I assure you, you don't have to worry about anything. Oh, check this out. Here's another big, big story for us, especially us that are working with banks right now on getting loans, SBA loans or lines of credit. You understand lines of credit and the SBA loans are always federal prime plus a premium. Okay. So, and the benchmark for prime is like 3.5, 375. And so there's a 25 basis points cut expected in 2026, but really no more. But I think you're going to see a change when we get Jerome Powell out this month and we get the new guy in, because the new guy that comes in is pro current administration, which means you're going to see basically, if you're pro the administration, you do what the administration wants, which this dude's been begging for, interest rates cuts. And that's what I'm saying. I was saying expect 25 to 50 basis points within 60 days, the new guy taking over. And by the end of the year, another 25 to 50 basis points. So what I'm expecting by the end of the year, or predicting, is a half to a full point interest reduction. Now, but I also know that a lot of that's going to have to do with inflation and how the economy is doing in GDP. So, but I also know that we're trying to be real intentional about getting more homeowners out there. And so, which means we've got to be able to make sure that they can afford it, which is why we've got to reduce all that stuff, right? What else is going on in the news today? Okay, okay. And we talked about this yesterday, by the way. Okay. But AI adoption crosses 82% among small business employers. Okay. So pricing tools lead and return on investment. Okay. So out of the small businesses, 82% of them now invest in AI tools, with the median operating 5 tools. Okay. Typically a chat AI, and I literally, between me, Rebecca, we use 5 AI chats on the regular, on the daily. That's that. Then obviously we do have Canva, and Canva is terrific for images. But to be honest with you, Nana Banana with Gemini and Google is really, really good. HubSpot, which is amazing because Justin is getting certified in HubSpot right now, and I can't even wait to implement this because we're getting a new phone system, and when you lay the phone system on HubSpot, using it as a kind of an AI based CRM tool that really connects to everything. Like HubSpot being like the hub on the wheel. I think it's probably how they got their name, and where all the spokes kind of go into that one thing. But as calls come in through the phone system, it pulls up and lets us know it is because it connects straight into HubSpot. So HubSpot, I'm really excited for us to implement and use because I think it's going to really help transform and really because we're a decent size accounting firm. We have 3 offices in 3 states, and we are definitely on the bigger side, but we are not huge by any stretch of the means. But it is we already have a unified phone system, so that way, if one of the offices, because we have 3 offices in 3 states, right? Missouri, Oklahoma, and then Dallas Fort Worth. And so, if there's bad weather or power goes out, we can literally just actually. And so, but the difficult thing that office is communicating with one of the clients from a different office, then they don't have all the customer notes, and you kind of end up operating blind a little bit. And so this really does a good job of kind of connecting all that, but then having a chat bot, which nowadays there's more and more chat bots are connecting with your phone system because a lot of these IP-based phone systems, right? Vonage, I think Vroom's a big one. Ring Central. There's a handful of really really well known ones that do a good job with this stuff. But they're going to be good. And then don't forget about accounting. And because of the software today, a lot of them can do some predictive stuff for you. But again, translating those numbers and actually translating that into profit for next month or changes and corrections in the next month, that's typically why you need a professional. But here's the deal. I'm a big believer in accountability in all areas of weakness. And so if I notice that with weakness and I know that I'm not strong in accountability or accounting, then we always have a partner to help us with that. I'm a big believer in accountability in all areas of weakness. Okay. So if you're a genius with numbers, you don't need somebody to hold you accountable with accounting. You can do it yourself. Right. I have a lot of my clients, we just do their taxes. Okay. They like you should see some of our clients' spreadsheets. I'm like, look, in a different life, when you come reincarnated, you were supposed to be an accountant, like, but they're business owners. And so they just do like their spreadsheets, like I drool over their spreadsheets, and they're business owners, not accountants. And so, but not everybody needs that accountability. Are you tracking? Okay. So I really want you guys, and here's the other thing I really want to caution you guys with. And this is one of the things that I struggle with. So I'm going to give you guys something, a little bit of vulnerability that I deal with. My brain's electric. If you guys can't tell, this dude's got crazy ADHD, and my brain never stops with ideas. It just doesn't stop. Okay. But that's good and bad. Remember, all gifts have an equal and opposite pendulum swing of a bad side. Okay. So here's the negative of that. My mind doesn't stop creating. The problem is success is a two-part formula. 25% is planning, the creating piece, and 75% is execution. So the most difficult thing that I struggle with is executing everything I create. Like I create and then I'm like, oh, I need to work on that. I'll do like 2 steps of the 10 steps. I'm like, oh my God, I get this idea. Okay, I'm gonna do 1 step out of that. I'm like, no, stop it, bro. Stop it. Okay. So my encouragement for you is trust me on this. AI will change your life. Without question. Without question. Okay. You guys listening, you use it in the chats, just say, yep, changed my life 100%. Put it in the comments. Everybody that's reading this is going to see it. Okay. But the the issue you're going to deal with is that you're going to get so damn addicted to it that you can't turn it off, that you're just going to sit around and create and not actually execute anything, which is why you need the accountability. Okay. So if you're listening to this, you're like, dude, hey, Ron, everything you're saying is speaking right to me. I know it is. If you're a mom pop venti shop, trust me, this show is for me, which is for you. Okay. I know I'm speaking to you because I'm speaking to me. My encouragement is look, jump on accountingplusaccountability.com. At the very top in the header is a little gold button that says talk with Ron. That's me. And like schedule a call with us and we'll talk about this and we'll talk about AI. And because the thing is when you see and you get part of a peer advisory group, that's the purpose of it, is to give you clarity, to help you slow down a little bit, to help you, slow down now to help you speed up later, right? And so, but part of this is making sure that you don't attach yourself to every shiny thing because a lot of that can be a distraction. Like, let me give an example: the phone system. So, one of the phone system we're going to be implementing has the ability to do is listen to every one of the phone calls, and then I can get a AI summary of like the biggest complaints that I'm dealing with, and I can also get a summary on like the voice influx, and I can kind of and the AI can gauge the severity of this, and I can get a weekly report logging all this. Okay, this is freaking fantastic. This is amazing. This is terrific. But that's a little overkill for me right now. Okay. And so this is the difficult thing you're dealing with AI. Okay. And I use this analogy all the time. Don't build a submarine to cross a pond. Don't over engineer something that doesn't need to be over engineered. Okay. Add it as you get to it. Okay. So, like this analogy, push the metal off the cliff and build the airplane as it's falling. As you need it, build it. But don't just sit there and just create, 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 because it's going to make you miserable because you're going to be executing on nothing. And the stress and anxiety we deal with is because usually there's something that we're supposed to do or execute on, and we're not. And that's why we're dealing with it. Okay. So, word of the wise, make sure that you are intentional, build something, create something, then implement. Create, build, implement. You got to implement. Are you hearing me? Is this this is speaking to you, treat yourself Thursday business owners. I know it is. I know it is. Okay. But if you guys need help with this, you guys want to be a part of a peer advisory group, you guys, trust me, we've got, in my opinion, I mean, obviously I'm a little partial, but I think we've got the greatest clients on planet Earth. I get to basically tap dance to work every day because I get to work with the greatest people alive. I get to have the greatest clients on planet Earth. And I get to wake up every day with this like sense of we have to save small business. So yeah, man, like, no, it's difficult to find AA Ron in a bad mood, man. My sense of purpose is off the charts, man. And I'm gonna encourage you guys with the same thing. Today is Treat Yourself Thursday. Today's the day that you're supposed to focus on yourself. Today. But I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. When I finish up today, I'm gonna get a haircut. And I know it sounds weird, and I go to Great Clips since they're like $20 haircuts. But I feel so good after a haircut. Do you guys feel good after a haircut? I don't know why. And look, my hair barely even like I get it cut so often it barely grows. And all they do is give me the same haircut. But I feel like as soon as I get a haircut and I anywhere that I walk into, I'm like, I know, ladies, I'm taken. Like, got a ring on it. That's obviously nobody's approaching me, but yeah, that's right. Like my chest is like 2 inches bigger. When I get a haircut, because when you feel good, people can sense that you feel good because energy is transferable. You guys get this, right? I'm not saying anything you don't already understand. What else is going on in the news today? It is World Password Day. It is the lamest of all of the national days. I didn't even mention it earlier because it's so lame, but it's a big deal, bro. Passwords, I'm telling you right now, man, like the amount of theft that happens is off the charts. And so that's why everything that we do now is requiring multi-factor authentication. And honestly, it's not that I'm opposed to password managers, but I tell you, I worked with a guy years ago. He was one of the advisors I worked with, and he was absolutely unequivocally a guy that built a submarine to cross every pond. He like literally over-engineered everything to the point of paralysis because he couldn't do anything because he analyzed and made himself paralyzed every single day. And one of the things he would do is we'd sit down to do our weekly meetings. Hey, and he'd bring his laptop. Oh gosh, I can't get in because on my desk is this password, which gets me into my password keeper, which lets me log into this website. You're like, huh? Like what? Now, in his defense, he was looking at his laptop, and I'd always give him a hard time about it. And then one time he was looking at his laptop and all of a sudden his mouse starts moving and somebody took over his laptop. I was like, okay, all right, legit. You know what? Maybe we need to worry about it. But that's the point I'm trying to make is definitely have it. But to me, I have to engineer passwords and do it. And I have logs. So I've got my big note app that I've had for 15 years, and I have a note in there, which is my login and passwords. So I can, in 2 seconds, just go, find and note basically and start typing the word, and it scrolls and finds me the password. So for me, it's my cheat code to have it all done. And it's not that website uses, 10 different password keys. It's always variations of some like 5 passwords, but you're never gonna remember which ones it is. And then you always forget, and then after 3 times they lock you out, and they make you reset it, and then you still don't write that one down, and you don't know which variation of this password is that you just wrote down because you don't remember what from the last one was. Trust me. Take 30 minutes, okay? Just turn on factor authentication on your email, your banking, your payroll stuff, your accounting stuff, your tax stuff, your password out, whatever it is, okay? And look, if you don't want to do this yourself, you can do the one password. You can do Bitwarden. They typically charge, I don't know, like $5 a month, something like that. And like it'll be for you guys, it'll be the cheapest thing you can do to make sure that you don't get hacked. MFA, multi-factor authentication, and have a good password system. If you want a manager, do that. That's to me like too complicated, and so I don't mess with that. But whatever works for you works for you. I just happen to be like a really, really lazy dude, and I don't like doing things that waste energy. That's me. Okay. What else is going on in the news? Listen, Section 179 plus the permanent QBI deductions. So for 2026, listen to this tax superpower. Are you guys ready? Section 179 expenses, expensing fully live, which means fully deducted year one. Okay, which is amazing. Okay. Then the 20% QBI deduction, which was temporary, is now permanent. So just imagine fully being able to depreciate all your stuff year one, which we used to be able to do years ago, got phased out. Now it's back. Okay. Plus 20% QBI deduction. So, and we talk about QBI, qualified business, right? Income. So watch this. So we take our P&L, and we know the top part of it is your gross revenue, right? And then your COGS, cost of goods sold, which is the parts that you have to buy or the food you have to buy, and you have no control over that pricing. That's COGS. So gross revenue subtract COGS equals gross profit. Then all of the business expenses go line item underneath there, deducting from gross profit. There's a hard line on the page, and there's a number underneath there. It's either profit or loss. That number, if it's profitable, and remember, this is only for pass-through and 1040 Schedule C, you're screwed, which is another reason why we've got to be talking. If you are a home-based business or you're just a small business, but you do everything like through Schedule C and your 1040, you have no concept of how vulnerable you are for way more taxes and IRS audits. Huge. Okay, so this deduction at the bottom of that page, if it's profitable, let's say it's $100,000 profit. And let's just say distribution, because that's a pass through on your K1. And let's just say you have to pay, let's just say your tax bracket, let's say it's 20%. So $100,000 profit. Okay, 20% of that is 20 grand, obviously. Okay. The QBI, 20% QBI permanent deduction means out of the 100,000, 20% comes right off the top, and it's basically tax-free income. So if it's 100 grand, take 20% off, which is 20,000. Now we have 80,000 profit. Now you're paying 20,000. 20,000 in taxes, subtract 16,000 in taxes is how much? It's a $4,000 difference on only 100,000 in profit. Now imagine $1 million profit. That's 40 grand in savings because of the QBI deduction, and it's permanent. This is enormous. Okay, so if you've got a 2026 vehicle, equipment, software upgrades, whatever it is, okay, work with your accountant, work with us, right? But that plus stacking the 179 plus the bonus depreciation plus your QBI, oh my God, bro, you are talking about mind-bending deductions and ride. Amazing, man. So, and by the way, if you have questions about this, go to accountingplusaccountability.com and schedule a call, talk with me, or scroll down a little bit, ask a question, we'll reply back or answer on the air, and we'll get you guys taken care of. But I'm telling you, if you guys need assistance with this, because a lot of times it's so much information that you almost do suffer from paralysis by analysis because it's too much, and we'll break it down for you. I mean, that's all we do. I spend half my time just coaching and consulting you guys. What else is going on in the news today? No way. No way. No way. What? Mr. Orange Man, current administration, has a golden visa investor program that's rolling out. This dude, look, say whatever you want, and there's a million things I disagree with this dude on. I've been independent literally for 15 years, okay? But the one thing you cannot argue with or disagree with is this dude knows money, and he knows how to make money, and he knows how to create money out of thin air. The thing about this dude is he understands capitalism very well. So listen to this. The current administration this week opened a portal for the new Trump card visa. Listen to this, dude. A $5 million investor visa pitched as a fast track to permanent residency, expected to drive significant inbound capital into U.S. small businesses, real estate, and franchise systems over the next 12 months. What? What? Like, if you want a franchise, scalable service business, commercial real estate, expect investor inquiries by the end of the summer. Like, this is insane. All the money that, because you have to understand, what makes our visa program so good is it takes a lot of time, energy, and money for people to apply to get here. The level of drive in that individual outpaces the drive of a typical American citizen probably by 10 to 1 or even 100 to 1. Okay. So these people are cut different. When they get here, they are very much yep, I'm going to be successful unless I'm dead or in a coma. Like it's that type of mindset. So now you've got people that have insane amounts of money. And remember, he just closed basically everything. Like green cards, you can't get money from the SBA anymore with a green card. Like you got to be permanent, like resident. Okay. And here's the thing, like 5 million bucks. And basically you're buying your way into the US. 5 million. So not only bringing really smart people that have a lot of drive, but these people also have a lot of money. I don't even know, bro. 100,000, a million. Think about the money in the world, the money around the world. Okay. A million people that pay 5 million bucks. That is literally, that's the cheapest. Here's 5 million bucks. I can become an American. Like I can become American. 5 million bucks investment. Write that check. 100,000 people, a million people, like 100,000 people at 5 million bucks is bringing in what? It's 5 billion, 50 billion, something like that. It's enormous. This is potentially another massive, massive opportunity for more revenue coming into the states, you know? And so huge, huge things coming back, man. Let's see what else is going on in the news today. All right, all right. Let's see here. Oh, no way. Awesome, dude. So the NFIB is pushing to suspend the federal gas tax for immediate relief. This is huge, man, because you know that most states and the government put tax on your gasoline. So makes almost no money from your gas. That's why these guys so much time, energy, and money on R&D to get you into the gas station because that's where they make their money, not at the gas pump. And so you have to understand that like gasoline, it's got an excise tax, I think federally of like under 20 cents. It's like 18 cents a gallon. But then states, diesel's like 24, 25 cents a gallon. Okay. But then like you've got like states like California. Big reason why California fuel is so expensive because California has its own tax on fuel. Yeah, the states have their own tax too. So what they're saying is the advocates are arguing that the fastest way to counteract this energy crisis that we're going through is reduce the freaking federal taxes on gasoline, at least until we get this whole thing figured out with the Middle East and what we're going to do with Iran and all this stuff. Can we at least see? And I'm telling you, the one person who probably is like, nope, keep it the way it is Elon Musk, bro. Can you even imagine? Like Rebecca and I, the last few times we've gone out of town, we've rented Teslas with full self driving. And we'll go to Tulsa and back from DFW, okay, which normally is going to be let's see, the van's probably 15 miles a gallon. It's 250 there, 500 miles back and forth. So 10, that's going to be five, probably three and a half fill ups, probably four. But by the time I get back, two to get me there, two to get me back. Okay. 20 gallons and average, probably Texas, $4 a gallon, probably. So $80 times four, 320 ish. Call it $300. You know, maybe, yeah, probably about somewhere between 250 and $300 in gas to get to Tulsa and back. Okay. And now, but let's just say it's 150. Let's just go 150. Okay, so it's on the low end. But now, you know how much it costs me to go to superchargers. And by the way, 15, 20 minutes is all it takes to fill these things up, okay, with power. I get back, and you know, my average supercharger bill was about $20. $20. 20. And it's way cheaper doing it at the house. So the one person who's probably flipping out right now more than anybody, Mr. Musk. You got a car that drives itself. Basically, as the driver, you are a passenger in the driver's seat. So basically, you buy a car that costs almost nothing to keep fueled up, is basically zero maintenance. I mean, it has a little bit, but almost nothing. You'll never wear out your brakes because regen braking takes care of everything. You don't have oil changes. You don't have the 1 zillion moving parts because it's just electric. You know, it's a motor. Um, and you basically comes with a permanent full-time chauffeur that'll take you anywhere at any time, anywhere you want to go, no matter what time of day, always available 24/7, 365. Yeah. And then you go buy a 2-year-old because if you buy a used Tesla, which Rebecca and I are very, very frugal. Okay. And I always joke, I'm the most frugal person I know. And Rebecca makes me look like I was about to say Mr. Orange Man's name. But like that. We always joke that her Indian name is Squeaks when walks. Okay, so but the thing is we're just frugal, and the thing is like for us, we prefer used. So if you're going to get a used Tesla Model 3, Model Y, like we like the hatchbacks of the Model Y, is it's got way more space than Prius does. And the thing about the car is you want to get at least 2024 because that's the hardware 4 is where they put it in 2024. So within the next couple of years, Tesla full self-driving will go from supervised to unsupervised, where you can be, hey, I need to be at, Tulsa in the morning, and you leave at 10 o'clock at night, and you just go to sleep in the back of the car, and you wake up at the first supercharger, basically, right? Backs in for you, and it's like, okay, we're here, bing, bing, and you wake up. Okay. It's basically like that right now, except it makes you look ahead and watch the road. Once it goes unsupervised, the thing is to go unsupervised, it's going to require hardware 4. And so that's 2024 or newer. Range goes up pretty significantly. So for Rebecca and I buying a used Model Y, 2024 or newer, under 50,000 miles, you can pick these things up for 5 to 30,000, which is phenomenal. And you're talking 300 miles of range in between your charges. And now because of supercharging and because of how fast it charges, 20 minutes, you're back up to 80%. It's pretty amazing, man. It's pretty amazing. So really, really, really great info for you guys on that. But anytime you see the fuel like the way it is, you already know what's happening, you know? Something else that's going on in the new state, which is really awesome. So NFIB, and we talk about them every day, National Federation of Independent Business Owners, they're probably the largest, most well-known small business lobbying group in the country. And these guys are in the news every week, for sure, fighting for us. Okay. So NFIB filed an amicus brief May 6th in Lenny's Pizza versus Federal Reserve. What? A pizza place is filing a lawsuit against the Federal Reserve, fighting excessive debit card processing fees that drain small retailers. You understand what's happening right now is all these fees, debit cards basically are no fee, but these processors charge the same fees as though Visa and MasterCard is charging the same amount, and they're not. But they don't reduce the fees. And really the only people that get the lowest rock bottom fees ever are like fortune companies because they got the economies of scale and the buying power to buy down their rates. But the big thing that's been happening the last couple of years is merchant processors or vendors like us are now just putting that fee to the customer. Like what we already are the least profit margin of all businesses is a mom and pop venti shop. Okay, we're squeezed the most. We have the highest cost and expense of everything because we have no economies of scale. Okay, we already know that. But then on top of that, we're dealing with the merchant processor fees as well. So we basically, as a small business owner, for us to survive, have to pass that 2 or 3%, because that 2 to 3% for our profit margins can be 20% of our profit margins. I've got clients, I'm not exaggerating, who like have their own little like salon. They bring in 2 or 3 thousand a month total revenue, pay $300 a month in merchant processing fees. It's not okay. We got to pass it to the customer. We have to. The small business can't afford to weather and support the weight of the fees anymore. We have for years, not anymore. Times are changing. Okay. So, but for us, every percentage point matters. Okay. So, if we can actually challenge the debit card swipe fee and get it removed to basically zero or close to zero, that's huge for everybody. It's huge for the vendor, it's huge for the customer, and it's huge for the small business owner. So, the business and the customer, because either one of them has to pay this, and they shouldn't be paying it, but because the monopoly or the duopoly of Visa MasterCard, okay, and all of our duopolies are always in beds with each other, forming the monopoly, okay? And so, but I'm just telling you, man, this is a big, big, big deal. All right. So, what did you guys think of our juicy news today? Did you guys dig it? First of all, I freaking knew that you would. Okay. Now, if we can, I want to kind of transition a little bit into juicy news. Not juicy news, treat yourself. Okay. Um, David just said he named his chatbot Andy. Oh my God, bro. I freaking love it, dude. I love it. Okay. All right. You guys ready for the Treat Yourself theme song? All right. Here we go. Here we go. Wait a minute.
T-Mobile. 3 words for you. Treat yourself. Treat yourself 2011. Once a year, Donna and I spend a day treating ourselves. What do we treat ourselves to? Clothes. Treat yourself. Fragrances. Treat yourself. Massages. Treat yourself. Mimosas. Treat yourself. Fine leather goods. Treat yourself. It's the best day of the year. The best day of the year.
Yes. Today is Treat Yourself Thursday. It's the best day of the week. Okay. So, what we talk about Treat Yourself Thursday is you guys, okay, making sure that today you focus on you. Okay. So, a couple little things for you to think about. Okay. We've already talked about this when it comes to accounting. There's some big, big tax deductions for you to treat yourself with some self care. Okay. And also, by the way, if you have questions about this, or maybe you think that something was done wrong, call us. Go to accountingplusaccountability.com, and you can, schedule a call with me, but evaluate and analyze your taxes for you. We'll have one of our audit it for you and see if there's any mistakes, right? But look, let today be a day that you do a little self care. And why can't we do some self care for taxes and accounting? Of course we can, right? One of the most important things that we can do is get outside every day. The sunrise porch sit for 10 minutes. First of all, the vitamin D that we get from the morning sun, connecting with Mother Earth. I don't know. For me, it's like I love it. I like going outside, walking in my bare feet, touching the grass, the cup of coffee, the sunrise. I love being outside first thing in the morning. You guys know we do our annual charity bike ride. Here's a little selfless, shameless plug. Every year I ride my bicycle from Dallas, Texas to Washington, D.C. For victims of Ponzi schemes and financial crimes, to bring awareness to this horrible crime. And by the way, if you guys want to check out what we're doing, go to ponzirelief.org. That's ponzirelief.org. But one of the things I love about my bike ride is I get to go and outside every day. As soon as the sun's coming up, I'm outside sipping my coffee. It's magic, man. It's magic. Okay. But I'm telling you, man, that morning sunlight on the retina before the screens start regulating your cortisol and start shifting your circadian rhythm. It's quite literally probably the single important 10-minute hack that you could probably do, and it costs you nothing to do it, but you got to sit still. And if you want to incorporate a little, mindfulness in there, prayer, meditation, whatever, that's just extra, points. Just don't touch your phone. What else? Self hand and forearm massage. So, like, by the way, the greatest place to get this done, go get a manicure, okay? And dudes, just get over this losing your man card crap, because as soon as you do it, and by the way, Dave will tell you, he and his wife did mani pedis when they went to that cruise. Boy, it's once you go mani or pedi, you never go back. You just don't, okay? The best thing, getting a mani, man, maybe I do that today, get a manicure. Because the forearm, you pay a little extra, like an extra $5. It's a basic manicure, just doing your nails, buffing them up, whatever. But that extra like $5 to the next package, where they massage your forearm and your hands. Bro, it is the greatest $5 add-on of anything you can do. But here's the thing. Anybody that runs a keyboard or you're on a phone all day, the forearm flexors are the most overworked tissue in the body. That's why so many people have like carpal tunnel and stuff, okay? But when you get this done, 7-8 minutes is how long they work on your arms. Okay, it resets all of the tissues and the nerves. Okay, so literally, like it's like having physical therapy, but you enjoy it, and like you get to hang out with like great people, and okay, maybe that you don't understand them, maybe you don't. But just hanging out, getting a manicure done, and usually they're sipping on a soda or alcohol if you do that, whatever. And it's just, again, this is Treat Yourself Thursday. It is the day, that you're supposed to do that, right? Self reflection, self care. How about this? Library lockdown hour. Drive to your local public library, put the phone on Do Not Disturb, find a quiet table near a window, pick up one book, any book, and start reading for 45 minutes. Okay. Or remember, the phone's off, Do Not Disturb, or sit down and work on a process, right? Lock. I know it sounds funny. Rebecca loves going to libraries. She loves working in libraries. ADHD does not like that. I need chaos around me to center my brain, because if I don't have the pressure, the chaos, then my chaos pushes out. So I've got to have the equilibrium pressing into my chaos so it all stays contained. I feel very secure and very safe while there's chaos going on here. And in the library, I'm like, what the hell? There's nothing going on here. And my brain goes like this. But if there's like chaos, earbuds in, I'm laser focused. Our brains are just different. But Rebecca loves it. But I'm telling you right now, grab a book, something you're working on, a high level project, a process you're creating. Let that be the time you're working on yourself or on the business, not in the business, right? That's the thing. Self-care has to be intentional. It's never done random, especially as small pop venti shop owners. We put everybody first. That's why we're in the worst shape, usually the worst financial shape. But we're just in bad physical shape. We just take care of everybody else but us. Okay. But just like the flight attendant says, put the mask on first and then help your neighbor, right? You got to do the same thing, but you understand self-care, it can be done after a difficult task, right? We got to train your brain to want and seek this. So I typically say do something difficult and then reward yourself with the manicure. Okay. Start getting your brain addicted to the dopamine releases of the exciting things, but as a reward after doing something hard. Okay. Like as soon as I finish up today, first thing I'm doing, getting a haircut. Yep. It's my reward for doing today's show. Now, can we shift into the reframe of the day? We didn't do it yesterday. We had so much going on, so much news going on. But you guys know every day, Scott Adams, Coffee Cup, his book is up there, How to Reframe Your Brain. It's the last book that he wrote. He wrote it before he passed away. He passed away January 13th of this year. I've often said Scott is our modern day oracle. I call him my pops number 3. What I watched him every day for years and years and years. And he completely changed my life, and mainly through reframes. And I try as hard as I can to share what I've learned with you guys. And so today's frame, the usual frame, I need work-life balance. Right. But here's the new reframe. Here's a new way of looking at it. I need work-life rhythm. Balance is a static lie. Okay. Rhythm honors seasons. Okay. I can't even explain to you the biggest lie in business history. Is it balance, that you can have work-life balance running a business? Bullcrap, humanly impossible. The only people that tell you that are business consultants that actually don't have a business with real employees, real product and real hours and a real business. They might be doing network marketing. They might be a solopreneur, but no, real businesses, yeah, this work-life balance, BS. But I tell you, man, for me, I have learned my rhythms of energy. And so it's taken me years, man. It took me years. For probably the first 10, 15 years of my adult life, I tried to discipline and beat myself into submission. Do this, even though you don't want to do it. It's like, whoa, wait, no, I can't do that. Here's what I've learned. Because I understand how my brain works and understand that it's got seasons where, like, sometimes my brain is in a place where it's got to watch a 30-minute little comedy show. And then sometimes my brain is in a place where I can, like, watch a 3-hour movie, like Gone with the Wind or something, like a big, like that type of thing, Braveheart type of thing. But the brain has to be in that place. So if your brain is in like 30-minute comedy show mode, you can't at that time. You can try to force yourself to be in the watching Braveheart for a 3-hour mind frame. You can try, but you're in the wrong energy rhythm. You need to match the task with your energy rhythm. And so for me, like, it works well. I get up early in the morning, 3 or 4, like today. I woke up at 3:30, no alarm, and it is like I'm so addicted to my morning routine. It's a big reason why I stopped working out in the morning, because I realized I get literally all of my difficult creative stuff is done by 8 a.m., 10 a.m. the latest. Okay. And then I shift into meetings, sessions, consulting. And then in the afternoon, it's got to be what I always call coloring mode. So, like when you color, it just takes time, but almost like no brain power. So, like after 3 p.m. has to be like coloring stuff that's tacit, like so easy. My brain's like, yeah, whatever, we can do it, no problem. Okay. So, like this afternoon, I'll be going to the gym to work out for the ride, and I'll be studying for a test. I've got statistics test that's coming up. And so, but I'm going to do that at that time. So I'll be able to get some studying done, which is easy. I'm just reviewing. That's it. So it's not like any complicated, but during the day, all my hard stuff in the morning. Okay. So develop your rhythm. Okay. There's no such thing as a 50-50 split. Like, okay, I work in the morning and then I'm off in the evening. Nope. Nope. And look, and Rebecca, her rhythm is different too. So my rhythm is, as soon as I wake up, I'm like, my brain's engaged. I'm electric. Let's go. But I am done. So like by 3 p.m., typically I'm wrapping up work related stuff, and maybe I'm transitioning, or I'm doing like easy coloring type of work related stuff. But by 5 or 6, I'm done. I am done. I am closing that chapter. And the first thing I do every day, I watch an episode of Modern Family. Like every day, it's like my treat of a really, really hard day. And today is one of those days I'm back to the minute. Every minute of the day, I'm time blocked too. At 3 o'clock, I go to the gym. I'll be there till 5. I come home. As soon as I come home, first thing I'm going to do, I'll change, I'll shower, I'm going to get comfortable, and then I'm going to watch 30 minutes of Modern Family. It's literally like my way of setting my evening. But Rebecca will be working. That chick does not stop. Like, she's got her rhythm too. So like she'll do something during the day that she wants to do for herself, and then she works, and then she'll do some stuff, and then she works, and then where I'm usually done in the evening, she will still like we'll be watching something and she'll grab her laptop and bust out like a process or something, or she'll work on something, and then she puts it down, and then we do. This is what I'm trying to help you understand. It is a work life rhythm. You got to figure out your own rhythm. You got to do the hard work. You got to take the time. But trust me, man. And if you can take that and then build a file, I call it FIRS, file index retrieval system, where as you get those moments of motivation, you and those ideas, you know exactly where to place it, and you can file it and reference it. I'm telling you, it's a cheat code. And what I've always said is, when you learn how to harness an ADHD brain, it's literally the equivalent of a magnifying glass being pointed at a rock. You will melt rock. That is how insanely powerful an ADHD brain is. The problem is 95% of us don't know how to use it or harness the power. But once you figure it out, I'm one of them. You quite literally are one of the most dangerous people on earth when it comes to executing, because you have learned how to capture thoughts and ideas that come in, file it where you can get to it easily. And then you learn the rhythm in which you get stuff done, and you do things at certain times to line up. Bro, get the hell out of your way. Anybody that's doing that, and there's somebody that's in your circle, just attach like a little, like, a little clip to their the coattail and hang on, bro, because they're going to take you places. So I'm just telling you guys right now, man. The goal is not perfect daily symmetry. You just can't do it. Okay. But what it is consistency over time. And we say it every day. Routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. Routine is the key. Consistency sets you free. Okay. So remind yourself you don't need balance, you need rhythm. Some weeks you lean in, some weeks you lean out, but overall, the year is going to average a life that you're proud of. Okay. What'd you guys think of today's show, man? Did you guys dig it? Remember, guys, if you guys want to get to us, you want to talk about anything, you want to be connected to a peer advisory group, we still have seats open. So go to accountingplusaccountability.com. At the bottom, the first thing you got to do is get on the waiting list because we onboard 10 clients at a time. And so what happens is you put your name on a waiting list. We reach out. Here's what we do. We'll schedule. We'll talk to you before, but because we have such a process that we want to make sure that we get everybody plugged in. But if you have anything, you can go to accountingplusaccountability.com. Schedule a call with AA Ron right up there. You need small business accounting help, consulting strategy sessions. We can help you with bookkeeping, payroll, tax planning, consulting, whatever. If you have any questions, scroll down a little bit on that page. There's the button for the questions. But what'd you guys think? The best treat yourself Thursday you've ever seen? I don't know if it's the best, but it was pretty damn good, right? Remember, guys, if you think that it's hard or you think it's easy, you're right, okay? Don't just work in your business. Make sure today you mind your own business, man. All right, guys. You've got the news, you got the tips and tricks. Now go own this day. My name is Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, and you guys know what time it is. What time is it, people? It's time to get to work.